Hello. Today's gonna be kind of a random day here in the shop working on the K24 all-wheel drive Turbski FK8 Type R. I'm gonna start off with getting the belt system situated, the serpentine belt. So I need to get the tensioner on, and then from there, we need to figure out what we're actually gonna run for a belt. I'm pretty sure it may have to be a custom length belt, but let's get our tensioner on. We gotta pop this motor mount on, or pop it off, get the tensioner on, motor mount goes back on. And then I have a couple of different belts here, and hopefully we can get one of them to fit. That would be ideal. Like I always say, it feels like this car was just meant to be swapped. Pulley and the tensioner bolted right up, and I'm 99% sure this is actually the factory FK8 belt. It all works. We're running the factory AC compressor, factory water pump, factory alternator, no power steering, and somehow we just had a belt laying around that fit perfectly. Next random task of the day is building the dump tube. So we got a better solution. Initially, I was gonna go out the bottom of the car, out the backside, not enough space. Second option was out the hood. Didn't want to do that. And then now the best option is this. We're gonna come out the front, come out and go down. Really don't want to cut the hood, so this is definitely the best option that we got. Very, very different from what I've seen on other builds, but that was the nicest and most simple option to get a dump tube on this car. I think it turned out sick. I actually really love how it turned out. So this is pretty much exactly how the bay is gonna sit. The only other things that we have to do inside the bay are the intercooler piping and like a catch can, and that's about it. Next random task is going to be to build the upper radiator hose. It's going to run from right here underneath the fuel line and connect down here. Here's what we're building it out of: two 16 AN straights and a 16 AN hose. Next task, turbo oil feed line. So this side right here, this is going to go where the factory oil pressure little dummy light sender is located, and there's 3 ports that come out. One is going to be plugged, one is the turbo feed, and the other is going to be the oil pressure sender. And of course that side goes right on top of the turbo. Next up is the coolant reservoir tank. I found a nice little spot to mount it. I do need to pull off the entire core support again. It's just along my 2 bolts, but pull that off. Throw some threaded holes in the core support so we have a nice solid mounting location. I'm gonna flip this to this side. Those bungs are gonna go on that side. And then one bung is an overflow. The other bung is the inlet, which is gonna run from that port right there. Coolant overflow is all sorted. Hose runs from the filler neck back to here, and then drain goes out the bottom. Good to go. Silver's kind of nice, matches the Terps key. Our next shenanigan of the day is going to be a hoop for the drive shaft. So being that the drive shaft is so close to the fuel cells, just in case this thing breaks, I don't want it puncturing the cells and burning this thing to the ground. So what I picked up is this big beefy hoop. Not a hoop, but a tube. And this is gonna go around the drive shaft. So let's get mocking and see what we figure out. Is what I ended up with for the drive shaft hoop. Before I put it on the car and show you guys the completed look, I'm gonna sandblast and powder coat it, but before we sandblast and powder coat that, there's one more thing I wanna build real quick because I wanna blast and powder it the same color, and that is the battery strap. So let's get the car down on the ground, whip up a quick little battery strap, and we can get it all powdered at the same time. Just got this little piece of 1 inch width, I think it's 1/8 inch steel. Should work nicely. Just got both parts sandblasted. Let's go ahead and get them powdered. The color that we are spraying is one of my favorites, as you guys will see here in a second. I am sure you guys guessed it, but here it is. Splatter black from Prismatic Powders. I spray this on everything these days, and I will link it down below. Before I put the battery strap on the car, I'm gonna put this little rubber insulator on it. Battery strap is on. I know the trunk's a mess right now, don't mind it. Let's move on to the thingamabobber. This is how the drive shaft tube works. So it's braced up front, bolted up on the sides, and here's the shot underneath. Perfect. Now in case this guy breaks, this should catch it from going into the tanks. I think that is enough shenanigans. Man, oh man, my voice. I think that's enough shenanigans for the day. Gonna wrap it up right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I need to move on to intercooler and intercooler piping. Hopefully we can do that tomorrow. I'll see you boys tomorrow. Hopefully my voice is back tomorrow. Goodbye.